This model is of a Scania R-Series tractor and a Nooteboom OSDS 3-axle trailer, and it's in the colours of Peter Mussche of Belgium. The packaging is a standard WSI collectibles branded box, with the model factory sealed in a polystyrene tray with clear plastic formers. With the lid off, there are only two parts of the model to take out, that's the trailer and the Scania tractor. And there's also a bag containing many small parts, but there's no instructions for this model. For the assembly, there are many parts that can be fitted to the trailer, but for now we'll just attach the trailer to the tractor. And the connection is easy, the kingpin just slots into the fifth wheel on the tractor, and there's a full range of movement of the trailer behind the tractor. If you want a very accurate looking model, there are coiled air lines behind the tractor, and by stretching them a little you can plug them into the trailer, although it's a little bit fiddly. The detail under the Scania is very good. It's a 6x2 chassis with most of the components modelled in metal. The tyres have a good tread pattern and the wheels are brightly decorated with a white wheel trim. The cab detailing and decoration is really good with graphics on the roof. And there's some excellent detailing above the windscreen and in fact on the windscreen with the Scania name. Even the door mirrors have graphics applied and there's an excellent selection of lights on the front. There's more nice graphics on the side, including on the windows. And on the back, in addition to the coiled air lines and the nicely decorated tanks, there's a great piece of artwork. At the rear of the tractor there are good quality lights and a number plate. WSI have always produced very good Nooteboom trailers and this one is no exception. The structure and detail underneath is very good, and the details around the axles is first class with intricate hosing fitted. Detailing on the gooseneck is very good, and here the optional toolbox and headboard is fitted. And there are some very nice small graphics, including the yellow stripe. The trailer deck has non-slip surfacing, with the wooden parts having an authentic look. And at the rear of the trailer there's some more excellent detailing, particularly of the lights. Testing out the tractor first, and it certainly rolls well enough in a straight line. It doesn't have any working suspension, but the front two axles are linked together for steering. But it's a fairly stiff mechanism and it's got a very small range of movement, so it's not good for posing, doing a sharp turn. But it does roll well in a shallow turn. The tilting cab is good, it goes fully forward and stays tilted, and the engine underneath is detailed and interesting, with the coloured components adding to the look. Moving on to the trailer, and it has lots of features and possibilities. The rear axles have excellent working suspension and each axle is controlled by little springs. And that also includes the last axle, which additionally has steering capability. It's got a pretty decent range of movement, and that means that when you set it you can then steer the trailer in a reasonable looking arc. At the rear of the trailer there are a couple of fold down stabilisers, and these are used for when you end load the trailer to give it some stability, and so that the suspension doesn't get stressed during the loading process. There are also some landing legs at the front, and these can be used when the trailer isn't hooked up to a tractor unit, and the pads get lowered just by being unscrewed, and once they're lowered they support the trailer so that it's level. The trailer has width markers which can be used. There are two that are permanently fixed at the gooseneck and they just can be opened out, and there are two that can be fixed at the rear of the trailer, but for storage they can be stored under the gooseneck with the other two. On top of the gooseneck, one possibility is to add some extra pieces, and that includes a toolbox which just clips into place, and there's also a headboard which has a spare wheel mounted on the front, but because of the spare wheel it tends to lean forward a little bit on its fixing and so it doesn't look quite right, so you'll see that it needs to be just straightened up a little bit, perhaps by using some plastic putty or something in the holes. You can also fit the side panels which clip into place around the gooseneck, and that forms a storage area into which you can keep certain items that go with the truck. Here you can see that the headboard has been straightened up so it looks right, and you can also fit a couple of ramps which just clip into place and allow access for a wheeled vehicle up onto the gooseneck. There are two plastic ramps supplied with the model, and these just clip onto the rear so that you can use them to show a piece of equipment being loaded. And just to demonstrate that, here's a Liebherr road rail machine just getting a lift on the trailer. As always with heavy haulage models, once you get a good load on board, it really makes a good display. Another display option you have is to fit deck posts all around the edges of the trailer, and these are metal deck posts and they just slot into place in the holes that are pre-formed, and on the whole they're a good fit and stand up straight. Another great feature of the model is that the trailer is extendable, and so you can just pull it out and it telescopes, and there's also a movable crossbeam which can be positioned anywhere along the spine beam. Another option that the model offers is to extend the width of the trailer, and that's achieved by pulling out little plastic supports from along the edge. And on those you can lay some plastic planks which are all different lengths, but helpfully they are uniquely numbered, with A1 going at the front and A6 at the rear. And they fit by just being laid into position. However, they do only rest in place, so if you're not careful and you do nudge the model, then you'll find that a lot of them will drop off. And that can test your patience a little bit if you had them all neatly fitted. But once you do get them in place, they do look quite good at extending the width of the deck. If you want, you can then fit the two width markers at the rear of the trailer, and once they're in, you're all set for the trailer to be carrying a wider load. And here, just to give an example of another load, is a small Komatsu excavator. To summarise, this is really a very good haulage model. It's very detailed and there are plenty of excellent features on the trailer. And in particular, the graphics on the tractor are really something special. Overall, the model is outstanding.